Hello everybody, welcome to a slightly later than normally scheduled episode of 3 stocks to buy, 3 to sell, one of our weekly live streams that we give to you. And at the moment, the stock market's been a bit bumpy this week, with a feeling a bit bearishness floating in, sort of getting through last week's interest rate ups and downs, making it bit tougher to trade towards the end of the month. Last week of the month as well always can add in some interesting volatility, price action to the game. So lots to look out for at the moment. But the purpose of this session is to look at 3 stocks to buy and 3 to sell. And I always create my short list first for you guys, and I've done so again. 27 symbols this week, and more bearish ones than bullish ones. It's quite a good gauge, this, of sentiment of the market. Actually, when I run these filters over there, I often get lists that are longer and shorter in one direction than the other. And at the moment, we're tipping over into the bearish side. What have we got, though? 11 stock sectors there. You can see in the top left, biggest one, retail, trade, health, technology. And we've got technology services, electronic technology, and then a whole load of one-offs there as well, covering transportation, consumer durables, a whole lot there. And we can break that down into 18 further industries, from pharmaceutical majors to oil, metals, minerals, internet retail, semiconductors, packaged software, all sorts of industries there. So a good spread, 18 industries for 27 stocks. Those stocks, what are they? Well, let's run through them quickly. At the moment, we got Akamai, Cameco, Chewy, Dollar General, Dish Networks, DraftKings, Enphase Energy, Energy Transfer. Let's just scroll up a bit, and we've got Etsy, GameStop. Remember, that film's out now. Looks a cracker. Dumb money if you want to go and learn a bit more about GameStop and how their stock price goes up and down. Then definitely worth a look at the cinemas. Then we got Immunivent, and then JD.com, Lucid, Livent, Southwest Airlines, Neo, Nutanix, NextGen, Paramount Global, Plug Power, Roivant, CGen, Sirius XM, Splunk, Walgreens Boot Alliance, Wolfspeed, Exxon Mobil. What's the sort of range in performance over the last year? We've got Siri down there at about minus 30%, and IMVT up a staggering 834%. So what have I picked for this week? Let's get into let's go negative to start with, and we can cheer ourselves up some bullish stocks later. First one up is ticker LUV, Southwest Airlines. Probably heard of the name. Big US, pretty much US focused airline. Been a bit sluggish business travel sector, which is key for these type of airlines. Another thing that was of concern was they announced fuel costs, the rise in the price, fuel costs impacting profits. Now, to me, that says they've unhedged their jet fuel. Dangerous strategy to play, especially when oil price is moving up, and it's hit the stock price hard, and it looks like it's still got some further room to the downside. And let's just tidy this chart up a bit, and then what can we see? We've got the weekly chart here. Let's pull it back a bit. You can see the price really tops out around this sort of level here, which is the $64 mark. Let's draw on some Fibonacci's. From the high, let's find the highs and lows. Lows right down here, May 2020, $22. Let's plop them on. Let's just do the settings. Let's try that. Nice if that came up. Let's do that again. Not quite. There we go. Let's get some lines on there for you. Some Fibonacci lines. Love using the Fibonacci lines. Give me a roadmap of all sorts of interesting support resistance levels. See how that stock that we're looking at has been behaving. And at the moment we can see the share price right down here moving towards those recent record lows. So still got some, like I said, downside left in the tank there. And then you're talking into this 10-20 zone. Not a lot of volume there at the moment, so the move could be quick. We've got the awesome oscillator giving us a bearish sell at the moment. Volatility right down the bottom there, not doing that much. Looking like it's playing normal. It's at 30% there. It can go up to 100%, especially in that dip we saw there in the rise, but it's playing around where it is normally. Let's take some key levels here. This Fibonacci line looks interesting to me. Got a lot of price noise through there. And we saw this breakdown there in the price. That's all breaking down around $33. So downside target's really $22.50, let's say, and then I would say anywhere between 10 and that level is the next downside. If we could see a recovery, what could we be looking at? We've got a point of control in at $38.50. Just there you can see where all that volume is, and then we've got another arc of volume up to that next level, which is about $50, and you've got a lot of price action over there on the left through it. Again, not a lot of volume on the way back up to those highs in the mid 60s, but at the moment we are talking bearish look for Southwest Airlines. It's focusing on the Renko charts. Watchers of my shows will know that I love the Renko charts. Using 20-cent block size here, we can use this sort of setup for some more near-term price action. Let's just draw on Fibonacci's again. We're going bearish, so let's do it the other way around. We want some downside potential targets for us, see where we could be heading in the nearer term. And let's just make that a bit tidier. There we go, so we can see more clearly. And we got there $23, $21, $18.50 to the downside. You can see the trend has been nicely down since July of this year. It has been this nice step down pattern, bouncing off the, I've got the 200 moving average on there, likes to move towards it and then bounce back down. We're giving you some down numbers there. Upwise, what have we got? Let's have a quick look. We've got, maybe if we can get through this moving average area, that key Fibonacci line around $31 and then $34. So some definite interesting numbers there to look out for on the Southwest, but it's not looking a very strong stock at the moment. So what's next up in my list of the bearish stocks? Well, I'm going to head into an EV stock. It's been struggling for a while, a lot of competition out there. I've talked and analysed a lot about the EV stocks, and Lucid to me is one of the weaker ones, trading at all-time lows just about. They are into all sorts of peripheral EV stuff, like powertrains, batteries, but it's the vehicles that they're known for, and there's production problems, all the fundamental issues that when you're a small startup compared to the big players, you've got to get it right and got to deliver, and they're not really at the moment. Like I said, we've got prices all-time low. Once upon a time, they were up as high as $65. Just can't see that happening for a very, very long time now. like I say, especially with the competition out there in this sector. In terms of the long term, then downwise you'll go into oblivion almost. So there is there's some money to be made on that. If you're a shorter term trader, looking for some downside action, you've got this box area here. Let's just draw on some other analysis, trying to look for rays of hope for the stock, but really there's not much going on there. It just looks like it's died over this year. If it's going to bounce back, you've got these next interesting price levels. There's a bit of volume up there. Got that arc. Point of control is where we're at the moment, 670, 660. Then that next level, next Fibonacci level, round about, let's call it $18.50 in here. And then the next key Fibonacci line at $28. But to get up there, that's going to take some doing. So I'll be looking for short-term in and out type trades here to the downside on Lucid. See how the EV sector is going as a whole, and when that's weak, getting on Lucid, because people will be looking to sell these type of stocks. Let's just for ticking the boxes, do the Renko charts on this one. Let's see what we got down to the lows there, the recent lows up to that high. I'm going to give you some, like I said, some more short-term numbers for you to focus in on. We get through this 5 area, then we got the early 4s, 3 3/4, and then down to 3. That would be my sort of potential targets there for the downside. Upside recovery, use the Fibonacci ladder there, 6 1/3, 7. It takes you into these type of zones. And then we can see it breaking down from that support area there, which was back in late June. But again, not looking great. Trend heading down, and it's looking still one-way traffic at the moment. Now, finally, what's our last stock that we are going to pick out? Let's have a look. Like I said, we had 27 to pick from, and I'm actually going to go with the ticker PLUG, Plug Power. Now we're talking renewable energies. Now Plug are into hydrogen, fuel cells, some EV stuff, end-to-end solutions. Going through a SEC lawsuit. They're suffering because the sector really that they're in, the renewable sector, has been pretty poor for the last few months, and Plug are suffering because of that. They've got their own internal problems, and that combination, that maelstrom has put them in further bother. Again, trading near lows. Where could it potentially be going next? Let's put the Fibonacci's on again. And let's not use that Fibonacci. Let's use this one. And there we go. Again, it's into the oblivion space below here. We do have the point of control just above $9.50 almost, and then we got this Fibonacci line here at $21. If Plug can recover, I'm going to say that would be the zone that's the most hopeful for it. Mixture of volume there at price. It's looking at a weak stock at the moment. Volatility there down at, well, it's still not an unvolatile stock, 65%. It has been lots higher into the 120s. So volatility come off, just suggesting to me that people aren't as interested in this stock anymore. Happy to trail it down. So let's go into, let's just copy that one over. We can do that. Let's get into the Shots. Plug power, what block size? We've got 10 cents. Remove that. Bring out some volume by the price as well. Might help paint the picture a bit better as well. Fibonacci's. There's the low in there at 7 1/3 just a little while ago. Up to those highs in July, $13. You know, it's a tricky one to play because it's probably not going to, if you're into options trading, not probably got too many options, so to speak. You know, you're not going to be offered much out there to the downside. Maybe some income trades possibly could be good for looking at. You got all the volume here at this sort of zone. Trend is on down. Tried to get above the longer term moving average, failed, broken out, and next stop 5 3/4. Let's go. Let's break that down a bit more, and just under 5, and then 3 3/4. This upside range, like I said, around about 8.64, and then just under 10. That looks about the best of the possibilities in the shorter medium term. Then we got this arc of volume. It did slip down very quickly from August time. Yeah, there's not much positivity to take away from this chart either. Looking like it's moving into the 4-5 zone down here. So that gets rid of all the negativity of this video. Let's move on to some more positive stocks. I'm going to start with the same one that I had last week. I still think they're a good one to watch. It's Cameco. They're uranium for electricity company. Initially Canadian, but you can trade them on the US stock market, about 17 billion market cap. Global player, and you can see the price is still shooting on upwards. Where could it be heading next in for some longer term potential numbers? Let's go to that low in October of 2020 up to the heights. Had 2 high spikes there, trying to get up through that area, which is $41 3/4, just there. Longer term upside, let's say that next Fibonacci at 50 and then at 55. Really no volume to cement that position at the moment. It's all down here. A big pullback possibility to that Fibonacci, 61.8 Fibonacci line around there, which is at just under $30. You see that, a lot of price action there. These headers there before it broke on up, but it's still looking quite strong at the moment. Got the momentum on our side. Volatility is quite low, which is good for, you know, what I want to see for that trend continuation to play out. So yeah, looking strong there. Let's head into the Renko charts. Block size 45 cents. Let's try and give that some better coloring so we can see it a bit easier. Let's give it something like that. Splash some color on there. We like a bit of color. Who doesn't like a bit of color? There we go. Right, so again, you can see that pullback zone. You know, if things go wrong, back to the point of control area. $28. Upsides, shorter term price action. Let's go to the lows down there, which were October of last year, which were in at around $21. Upside wise, well, we've got get through those highs, $41. We could probably got 46, 47, and then just under 50, and then 54. But the trend's looking strong. Momentum just in the last couple of days, I think it's following what's going on in the wider stock market at the moment. Just pulling off, maybe a chance to buy that dip and get back in. Next up, who have we got now? Ticker is AKAM. Now I'm going to call them Akamai. I apologize if I pronounced them wrong. They are a cloud services company, cybersecurity, offer web mobile solutions. Earnings have been good. Analysts are positive, about 16 billion market cap. So all things looking pretty decent. They've been on a bit of a recovery over this year. Let's see how much they are up. They're up nearly 56%. You can see there, not a lot of volume, heading back towards that point of control. Let's put on the Fibonacci's, the high and low there. You can see previously we got quite a lot of resistance overhead, sort of resistance in at those highs at $123. But you know, it's still looking positive. The underlines are positive. Also, what I like this stock is you might have seen that Splunk, a cloud service security company, got bought out by Cisco, and that might just G up this sector. A little more people looking for these smaller companies to hoover up. You know, another one could be someone like Nutanix, but Akamai, you know, they could be on someone's radar. But if not, they're still doing a pretty decent job, and we could be looking, like I said, those highs, and then 137, then 144. Momentum all looking positive. So we got that nice upslope. It's broken out on up, like I said, 55% volatility, calm around the late 20s. Now let's look at the Renko chart for these guys. 65 cents block size. Fibonacci's on there straight away. Right, so we got the highs in on there, just under $109. We got that gap in volume there, which takes you down to the 61.8% Fibonacci line, which is at $94, $95. So that, I suggest, is the bad pullback, with the hope of it bouncing on, moving on up. And if it doesn't move on up, we've got 119, 124, and just there off the screen, 132 to the upside. If it fails at that, like I said, that Fibonacci line there, then it's looking like the next one at 85, and then the point of control all the way back at just under $80. Short term, again, like Cameco, just pulling back, so it's a possibility of buying the dip opportunity in there. You can have a lot more options for options trading on this stock. So yeah, have a look and do your homework and maybe get in on some of that sort of stuff. What else have we got? We're going to end up with a biotech stock, IMVT. Now, their stock price, let's actually go back to there first before we go into the Renko chart. They are called Immunovant, and they basically are a biotech company that try and produce treatments for autoimmune diseases. The analysts like them. They've been outperforming. Smallish company, 5-6 billion market cap. Had some good clinical trials recently, which has helped this price just rocket on up. You can see it's heading towards previous highs. Can it go further? Well, it could well do. Let's see what it's up from September this sort of time last year. Look at that, nearly 1,000% gain there in the stock price. That's pretty amazing. Let's get on those Fibonacci's from the highs to the low. You can see actually the price hitting that Fibonacci there, $42.75. Goes through that zone there. It's going to be very interesting to watch from here. There's not a lot of volume in there, so you could, you know, if people change their mind on this stock, could easily fall back quite rapidly to this Fibonacci line around 22.5. That's a 38.2% Fibonacci line, so quite key. So probably going to see, I reckon, you know, price action in this sort of area consolidate, and if you can see the consolidation, I'll be more confident that it was going to move on up to those highs around 53.5, and then on up to 67. But like I said, be careful of the upside. And you can see the volatility spike there. And normally trading average around mid 60s, but that's up to 160. So real big push on up there. And let's get into the Renko chart. Not a lot of price action there because it's a relatively new stock, $2 block size. You can see the picture painting out there quite clearly. Let's just do it to get some numbers for potential targets in the shorter term. Like I said, if we can consolidate around here, highs 52, then on up to 65, downwards, it's clearer to see the Fibonacci there at 33.5, let's call it, and then 22. Like I said, not a lot of volume, point of control all the way down there at 7.5. So there you go. That is my 6 stocks, 3 to buy, 3 to sell. What have we looked at? Love, Southwest Airlines, Lucid. What else did we go through? Plug Power, Cameco, Akamai, and then Immunovant. So 6 stocks for you to look at. Also those ones, if you missed them from the shortlist, play back the video and see what else I was targeting, the other 21 from that list. If you like the video, please give us the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons because there's lots more content always to come from this channel. We've got, actually, what's the time now? It's coming up to near 5:30 in the UK. In half an hour time, I'm going to have a quick look at the Bitcoin price, more around the technicals there than the fundamentals, but just see what's going on there. Then, like I said, we do it all again from Monday. All sorts of markets covered, energy sectors, stock markets, a whole host of stuff. FX we kick off with first thing on Monday. So lots for you to get your teeth into, and like I said, lots on the channel as well for you to follow up with. So hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope to see you again soon, and good luck with that trading.